Hi there, I'm meteorologist Mariel Ruiz. Thanks for joining us on WFAA Plus. If you're joining us on another platform, don't forget WFAA Plus is our streaming platform. You can watch us 24/7 on there. We are going to be talking about now Category 5 Milton. Now, before Milton turned Category 5, it was a mere Category 1 in the southern Gulf, and that was actually just one of 3 active hurricanes in the Atlantic this morning. Now, with the latest update, we have 2 active hurricanes and now Tropical Depression Kirk. But with the third Hurricane Milton, it actually made for the first time on record that there were 3 active hurricanes at the same time after the month of September. Okay, so more on Milton. Milton is now a Category 5. It's the second Category 5 of the season. The first one, if you remember, was Beryl. Beryl did impact Texas. Milton will not impact Texas, but Milton is a Category 5 storm. Now, if you are joining us on WFAA Plus, my phone is in my hand because I am looking to see if there are any questions coming in. And those questions coming in, I'll try to answer them if I don't answer them while I'm talking about Milton as we keep going. So Milton right now is in the southern Gulf. It is going to take a dip towards the south before it takes a dip north. Now, there are a lot of things that could change with Milton, and I'll touch base on that as we move forward. Okay, so here's our satellite imagery. You can see the cloud cover reaching areas just to the south of New Orleans there, south of Louisiana. And if you can see here, we still have quite a bit of rainfall already ongoing in Florida. So we'll see that Category 5. That is still really far from Florida. Even then, already seeing some of that rain in Florida. That means Florida is becoming saturated already. This will be a very big flood concern as we move forward. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now in terms of our spaghetti plots. I'm showing you this because there's still quite a bit of disagreement with computer models where this is going to make landfall, and that in turn is going to heavily impact the impacts along the West Coast. So every line that you see there is a different model output. And if you're having trouble seeing this, we have a full article on this where you can zoom in on WFAA.com. But we are looking here, and at the very top part, just to the south of Cedar Key, that's a potential landfall. So landfall can vary anywhere from the north of Tampa all the way south of Fort Myers, between Fort Myers and Marco Island. Now, if you remember just 2 years ago, that's an area that was heavily hit with Hurricane Ian. Again, about 2 years ago. They're still recovering from that. But a lot of models really starting to hone in on somewhere between Tampa and Sarasota, and that's where the National Hurricane Center does have landfall late Wednesday into Thursday morning. So here's the current track. This is now the forecast track that I'm taking you through. It's a Category 5. It'll stay a Category 5 until Tuesday morning. It'll continue. Wednesday morning, we could see it downgrade to a Category 4 storm. It'll downgrade a bit more right ahead of landfall. So landfall looking to be, again, late Wednesday into Thursday, right between Tampa and Sarasota. This is going to make a really big impact as it stands across Tampa, Sarasota, and areas to the south. That's where we're going to see the biggest storm surge. So think Sarasota to Fort Myers. We could see some heavy storm surge there, Marco Island even, but even on the northern side of this track, we could see some of that. So the right-hand side of the track is always the most dangerous, and that's where we're going to see the biggest impact. Okay. Someone's mentioning about the Atlantic dry air and the Saharan dust. Unfortunately, not seeing too much of that right now. Generally, whenever we see that Saharan dust, it helps lower some of that tropical activity. Not going to see too much in that way this time around. So what could help us out is actually the cold front that's coming through North Texas right now. That cold front is going to help steer this hurricane, and it's also going to help break it down some. Not enough, of course, for it to completely go away, but we could see it lower in strength to a Category 3 status. Even if it does lower to a Category 3, that's still considered a major hurricane making landfall near Tampa. So look at how it then tracks across Florida. It'll keep its hurricane strength as it's moving through Florida. So think heavy rainfall and hurricane force winds between Tampa, Orlando, and then once it moves into the Atlantic, it will eventually weaken So this is really going to be a heavy Florida event, areas that are still recovering from Helene along that west coast. But fortunately, areas like the Carolinas and Georgia will not see direct impacts from this. So those areas, of course, heavy hit from Helene just last week, they'll be in the clear for this. But Florida looking to take a brunt of the storm impacts here. Okay, so because of that track, let me show you now what is happening big picture wise. You see that cold front? That cold front is what's going to help steer this hurricane. And that cold front is also what's going to help bring in what's called wind shear. Wind shear is not helpful for hurricanes. It helps break down hurricanes, and in this case, it helps lower the intensity. So we could see it, again, lower to a Category 3 storm as it makes landfall between Tampa and Sarasota. But a lot of models, again, indicating that it could make landfall just north of Tampa, or it could make landfall as far south as, say, Fort Myers, even Marco Island. So we'll be watching that. We could see some slight shifts in the track. And if there are slight shifts in the track, again, the impacts will look a little bit different. But as of now, it does look like the hurricane watch extends anywhere from Cedar Key all the way to Marco Island. That's the yellow that you see. The pink that you see, those are tropical storm watches, and that's north of Cedar Key, south of Marco Island, towards the Florida Keys. Okay, so and some are asking about evacuations. Local officials will let you know about evacuations. So make sure to just keep tuning into your county, because that is who will let you know about evacuations. Let's talk storm surge. This is the part that I'm concerned with, because this storm surge anywhere from, say, Tampa to south of Sarasota, just north of Fort Myers, looks to be 8 to 12 feet. Now that storm surge, the highest storm surge will always be on the right-hand side of the track. And right now that's between Tampa and Fort Myers. So if that track happens to shift a little bit up the Florida coastline, we're going to see that the storm surge will also shift up north with it. But if it goes anywhere south, we're going to see that the highest storm surge will shift towards the south. Either way, all along the western coast of Florida, we'll be dealing with storm surge come as early as Tuesday afternoon, evening, all the way through Thursday and after that hurricane makes landfall. So there's a look at the storm surge, and that's not including the rain. So keep in mind, storm surge is water that gets pushed inland because of the high winds. And then we're looking at rainfall totals. We're going to see over half a foot of rain in many locations in Florida, and some localized totals close to 12, maybe even 15 inches of rain. So that's freshwater flooding, that's what we call it, and storm surge is saltwater flooding is what we call it. All right, I'm going to take a look here, see if I have any other questions coming in. I think I've addressed most of them. Again, Hurricane Milton, a Category 5 storm. It will weaken some as it approaches the Florida coastline. Wednesday night into Thursday, there could be some shifts in the track in the days to come. We're still a couple days away from landfall, so there is time for this to change. The reason that's so strong, by the way, is because of the warm Gulf waters. Right now, it's anywhere between 2 to 4 degrees warmer than normal, even with Helene making impact along the Gulf just last week. We're still seeing pretty warm water, so that's going to be something that kind of feeds that hurricane. But something that's going to help break down the hurricane is the cold front that's currently working its way through North Texas, eventually helping steer this right into Florida. All right, we are going to keep a stream of these graphics, so the ones that are built here. We're going to keep this going on WFAA Plus, so if you missed any of those graphics, you're going to be able to see them again. And of course, if you have any additional questions, you can always check out our article on WFAA.com, and you can always reach out to us on social media as well if you have any specific questions. Take care.